Hello, everybody, and welcome to First and Goal, the hardest hitting, up and coming ACC and SEC football podcast on the internet today. It is Thursday, April the 7th in the year 2022, and I am your host, Ben, and I am ready to talk some football, and I am sick and damn tired of the weather we've had this week, and we apologize for the delays, y'all, but you get 2 days back to back of tornado warnings going off nonstop. That's just not exactly podcasting weather, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man, absolutely. This weather has just been something fierce, man. The other day, it seemed like every 5 minutes there was a tornado warning going off. Just about every 5 minutes, and it was all surrounding us. And then the very next day, yesterday, they were popping off, every 10, 15 minutes after that too. It's just been a crazy time.
It's been a little while, man. It's been something else. I gotta tell you, I did not know we lived in Tornado Alley out here in South Carolina.
All of a sudden.
Yeah, it's a little hectic. I mean, you got a little piece of quiet hell out here in my area, but we ain't been nothing but tornadoes the last 2 damn days. Every time you turn around saying, well, hopefully the house is there. I mean, damn.
Absolutely, man, and that's the great thing about having a brick house, I guess. Huff and puff, but it won't blow the house down. I mean, take your roof off, but it won't blow the house down.
Knock on some wood. But, yeah, man. But even with all this crazy springtime weather, there's one beautiful upside to all this. And that is football season.
Football season, man.
The spring football season is here.
I am telling you, dude, from now until May 1st, every weekend, even a few Thursdays and Fridays, you're going to have some spring football to watch on the TV.
Absolutely, and I am beyond pumped about it. I mean, everybody kept talking about it's opening day for MLB. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind a baseball game every now and then, bro, but if football's on TV, we're going with the contact.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You gotta have it, man.
No doubt about it, man. And I like baseball just as much as the other person, but I'm with you, man. When it comes to football, ain't nothing better.
No.
Baseball takes second place, but go Braves.
Yeah, no Braves. But, man, I gotta tell you, I am excited. We had some spring football on this past weekend. Did a little watching on that. And we also said when we came back, we were going to discuss the bluegrass state up there in Kentucky. Talk about Louisville and the University of Kentucky. We got a lot of things for you today. I mean,
yeah, man, a little battle of the Commonwealth coming at you today.
that's right. We got a little bit of that. We also got some news talking about a few coaches, seeing how their spring practice is rolling along. I mean, we're not going to be able to cover everybody because we'd be here from now to damn 1 o'clock in the morning talking that mess. And I got to work tomorrow, man.
Yeah, shoot, 1 o'clock, hell, more than likely 5 o'clock in the morning.
No, I'm telling you, man, there's way too much content for one night.
But I'm telling you, and right now it's just a treasure trove of a lot of things, man. You've got the portal in full effect, you've got spring ball, you've got injuries, you've got, even the past to talk about from last year. I mean, there's just so much here, but we're going to try to get it all to you as quick as we can.
Yes, sir. Speaking of transfer portal, we had a few more pop up in there here recently, didn't we?
We sure did, man. We sure did. Transfer portal. We've got Baylor Cupp, tight end from A&M, actually entered the portal last week, like the next day after we did the last podcast. Tyler Johnson from Texas, offensive lineman. Doran Branch, a safety from Georgia. And another safety from Ohio State, a big 5-star safety, LeJon Cavazos, entered the transfer portal. We also had a couple that entered the portal, just today and yesterday. Offensive lineman Jonathan Dennis from Oregon. Edge man Mateo Sully from Arkansas, 4-star. And Caden Clark, tight end. He's from Alabama.
Yeah, right, man. I'll tell you what, this NIL, but I'm telling you, this turned college football into a free agency with the transfer portal. It really has.
I'm telling you, man, you gain more respect for these players that are dedicated to a school and refuse to transfer, even if there's a chance that they don't start. They want to earn their place. You got to have more of a respect for that end of the thing.
Oh, exactly, man. I feel like you'll be a way better player and a way better human being in life after school and after football and everything else. If you're one of those people that actually stays and says, you know what, I don't care what life throws me. Okay, so what? I'm down right now. But I'm going to fight and I'm going to work harder and I'm going to come back next year and I'm going to get that spot. I'm going to put in the time in the weight room. I'm going to put in the time trying to pick up my speed, build my strength, master my craft, and I'm going to get that spot next year.
And I'm going to earn that NIL money.
That's exactly right. It's not just chasing something else for a little bit of playing time and a quick paycheck.
Right.
It just, man, this thing's just, it is a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass, but at the same time, it does make for some hellacious content. Because, I mean, I've never seen an all season like this with so many transfers. I really haven't.
No, I mean, there's still a ton of transfers out there from, last month, the month before that haven't even committed yet. I guess they're trying to, find the highest bidder before they commit.
That's right. Did any of those transfers you just named, have any of them signed anywhere else yet? Or?
No, not yet. Not yet.
They're missing a lot of valuable springtime.
They really are. The good news for South Carolina, though, Corey Rucker actually committed last week from Arkansas State. He had 59 receptions last season for 816 yards and 9 touchdowns.
Shane Beamer, man, I'll tell you what, he is eating a slap up with his transfer portal. He is taking full advantage of it.
I believe I read somewhere today, actually, that after the Corey Rucker signing, South Carolina now ranks 3rd in the signing class for transfers in the SEC, and I believe it was either 6th or 9th nationally.
Absolutely. I mean, Bo, they've taken a huge swing at this thing. I mean, they have gone after it in full force. But what's funny is South Carolina is one of the lower end schools as far as NIL money goes. So it actually is. It's really cool from the standpoint of looking at Beamer, where he's actually selling a program and not NIL deals,
Yeah, absolutely.
And getting these guys come in there and play football for a program and buy into a culture and a school. I love seeing that. I mean, I'm not knocking on you, A&M. I'm not knocking on y'all. But let's face it, A&M's got the biggest money thing going on right now for NIL. I mean,
and I'm gonna knock him. I am gonna take my shot.
Well, Jimbo's sitting there screaming and crying at Lane Kiffin and these other coaches. Oh, it ain't got nothing to do with NIL. NIL ain't got nothing to do with it.
Bull crap.
3 days later, you find out your quarterback's getting, what was it, $7 million, $8 million?
I believe it was $9 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Shit, he got more money than Cam Newton.
And not to mention, I mean, like we told you last week, there was an offensive lineman that actually committed. I believe it was an offensive lineman. He was a 5-star that added to the class. He reclassified from 2023 as a 2022 grad now. He'll be coming in the summer.
That's it, Texas A&M or?
Texas A&M.
Damn it, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they're bringing in the players. If they can't win a natty, it's a double-edged sword what he's doing right now. He's bringing all this talent in there, and I mean, just piling it in.
Yeah. And my correction, it's a 5-star defensive lineman, not an offensive lineman.
Okay. But it's a double-edged sword for him because he's bringing all these players in, all this talent into this program with this NIL money. That's a lot of money going out there.
Yeah.
So all these people that's donating all this money, all these sponsors and everything else, they're going to expect results.
Yeah.
So basically what they're saying is this is win now.
Yep.
You got right now to win. So he's got this year.
And maybe next.
Maybe next year. And if you ain't got a natty, if you don't at least have the SEC championship in the next 2 years, you put yourself in a corner, man.
You're going to have an SEC championship and at least a playoff appearance.
Well, I mean, if you win an SEC championship, that's basically a given.
Yeah. But if you don't win an SEC championship, at least make the playoffs.
Yeah. So if he does not turn out some serious results in probably the next 2 years, he is not going to be in a good position. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't know, man. No, not at all. Especially with the board and, all the donations and everything that are coming in to support this NIL money. I mean, the people are going to start getting stingy with their pocketbook.
Well, I mean, it's getting just like NFL. If you sign a player in NFL to a $40 million or $50 million contract for, say, 5 years.
Yep.
And then you stink it up. Or not even stink it up, but you don't say it's a running back. All right, he's been rushing for 1,200 yards, 1,300 yards every season. Then the next season, he only runs for 950. Then the year after that, all of a sudden it's at 870, 860, something like that. Yards per carry drop down.
And just keeps declining.
What happens to that player 9 times out of 10? They find a trade or they cut them, eat the money, whatever they got to do. They say, okay, we're going to spend this money. We're going to at least have to have some kind of results for it.
Yeah.
I mean, put yourself in one hell of a bind.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I don't know. It's this transfer portal stuff. And just recruiting in general anymore, man. It's just got way too complicated just within the last 2 years, really.
Yeah, it's gotten really, really wacky. But like I said, as frustrating as it is from a fan standpoint, from someone that's doing a podcast and covering the sport itself, it also, once again, you got a double-edged sword there. It's also a great thing because, I mean, it's like a never-ending content.
Yeah.
We could literally not talk teams, nothing. We could talk just transfers and recruiting.
Yeah, plethora of content.
And you would have enough content to do a show 3-4 nights a week if you wanted to.
Yeah.
If you had time to commit to it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane. It's really insane. There's more players moving around in college football in the NFL right now.
Yeah. And I mean, it's free agency in the NFL right now, and it's been a crazy free agency in the NFL. But I'm telling you what, the money has been on college football, man. Who's going to go where?
Well, put this into perspective for you, all right? Cam Newton 2 years ago when he signed with the Patriots.
Right.
He signed a 1 year, I think it was like $1.5 million contract.
Something like that.
For 1 year. This is a former NFL MVP of the regular season. This is a former Super Bowl quarterback. He didn't win, but he took a team to the Super Bowl, multiple-time NFL playoff quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You got a kid coming out of high school, never took a snap in college football, making more money.
Yeah.
I mean, you let that sink in for a minute.
Well, not only that, I mean, I think it was a guaranteed either 7, 8, 9 million, something like that. But then just think of what he will earn once he takes the spot on how much more money he'll earn from other sponsors.
Oh, I'm telling you, man, it's out of sight. And I think basically inflation, as a result, there's been an inflation in the NFL. If you look at all these mega deals, all these NFL players are signing out. I think a lot of what that is, you see in the NFL, these giant contracts, these NFL players are saying, hey man, I'm not signing for $10 million. These college kids are getting paid more than that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. Hell no.
Yep.
Price is going up, dog.
Yep. And, you know, speaking of the transfer portal and NIL, NCAA President Mark Emmert has actually discussed on multiple occasions about trying to get with Congress and trying to make a united law about NIL, because there's just so many states right now that have different laws that he says that makes it really much harder to negotiate and everything to get a universal thing in order.
Exactly. You're going to have to come up with a united front on this thing, and you're going to have to come up with basically a salary cap.
Yeah.
For the whole league all the way across the country. Every school has a cap. They can only spend this much all together.
Yeah, according to Mark Emmert.
On NIL per year.
According to Mark Emmert, there's 30 plus states that have different NIL laws. And you can't get united when there's that many different laws out there about NIL.
And make it a dead set amount per university per year.
Mm-hmm.
And make it where it's not going to cover every player. Make it where basically you're going to have to pay that money to your seniors, your juniors. Or, okay, you want to spend that money on a quarterback, that's fine. But now you got this standout player that's a senior, you're not going to be able to cover him.
Right.
He can transfer out and go to another university, do whatever he's got to do. But make it where you got to find a way to bring it back to the schools.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give the prestige back to the schools. the university and the education.
And personally, I feel like these players should be earning the money from name, image, likeness.
Oh, absolutely.
However, I feel like it should be something set on, you get a fixed amount each year, and then at the end, once you graduate, then you get your money, the full check.
Yeah, you get a full check when you get that degree in your hand.
Yep.
That would be great. I really like that. You either get it when you get your degree, or, well, say, say when you go to the NFL, but even then, I mean, that would kind of kill. I agree, I like that. You get a certain amount, you only get a slight amount of what you got. The rest of it's incentives.
Mm-hmm.
And it all depends on you getting your degree.
Yep.
Or playing 3 years of college football, say.
Yeah.
For the so I can get that. I like that. I can get down with that rule.
I just thinking about that, man, it just makes a lot of sense, simply because when you're coming out of college, and a lot of kids are not going to go to the NFL. Let's just be honest. A lot of these players aren't going, or they're not going to get drafted, and they're down to teeny tiny money when you get on, picked on with the scouting team or whatever. But with this, you actually have the money to be able to go out and start your own business, buy a house.
That's exactly right. You got enough money to get your life started when you get out of college. Get your feet on the ground and get moving.
Yep.
No, I can agree with that 100%. I really like that. But
did you hear the news coming out of Pitt this week?
ain't no damn telling.
Pitt actually extended Pat Narduzzi's contract through 2030.
Really?
The terms of the contract, whenever I saw that, they hadn't come to light yet, so I'm not really sure if that's came to light yet. But yeah, they've extended his contract to 2030.
They do realize Kenny Pickett left, right?
I reckon.
No, I'm just picking it. I'm just cutting full of Pitt fans. Don't come down here with a mad posse with pitchforks and try to burn me at the stake or something. Now, but that's jumping the gun a little bit. I think I could see giving them like a 2-year extension or something like that, maybe after winning the ACC title. But that's a long extension. That'd be one hell of a buyout.
Absolutely.
Especially when you lose a lot of star players, man.
I agree, man. Especially that quarterback, man. It's going to be hard to replace that. Especially one to put up the numbers that Kenny Pickett did.
Exactly.
And the slide.
I mean, let's face the facts. The ACC last year was wide open, and don't get me wrong, it's wide open again this year.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a whole different league this year. I mean, you look at some of these new coaches on Brent Pry, Virginia Tech. You got Tony Elliott, Virginia. Cristobal down there in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And you still got Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
You still got Wake Forest. But you still got a lot of damn good programs. Florida State, well, they're doing Seminole-ish things down there. I don't know what the hell's going on with that right now.
Okay. So, and I saw, we're on YouTube now. So y'all see me just put my head down. What Ben's referring to is last season, Florida State had, I believe it was 2 or 4.
4.
It was 4 coaches that came in. None of them were alum, but they came in and they did.
3 of them were formerly from the University of Florida.
Yeah. And I think one was University of Miami.
I think so.
But they came in and they called plays in the spring game.
Yeah, for the last quarter.
For the last quarter. Guess what's going on again this year?
It is alumni this year.
It is alumni, former players coming in. But man, to me, spring isn't just about getting your players ready. It's about getting yourself ready, getting your play calling ready, getting back into the groove from a long hold. 3 quarters just ain't going to cut it.
No, I mean, you got your scrimmages and all leading up to it where you can say you got football. My whole thing is, if you're rebuilding a program or attempting to rebuild a program, and you're not there yet. You're only winning 5 games a year, 2 games 1 year, 4 games, 5 games, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're not having a whole hell of a lot of success. You need to be spending all of your time and damn near all of your energy into building a culture and getting this program back to where it needs to be. You need to be dedicating yourself 100%. And you can say, oh, well, I'm getting national attention at the university. That's helped build the culture. No, that's not building the culture. To me, this is more so of publicity stunts.
Right.
More publicity stunts, and it's more about Mike Norvell
Getting Mike Norvell's name out
than it is Florida State.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just chaps my ass. Like, Mike, I want to see you do good, man. I want to see this program come back, and I talked them up last year.
You sure did.
I hyped them up, and they made me look like a jackass. And then we talked about it the other day. I said, man, I don't know, something's telling me that it's just going to turn around. I just got a feeling. And then this stuff comes out this past week, and I said, oh, damn, here we go again. Let me go ahead and get my paper bag ready.
I want to be sold on Florida State. I would really love to say that they're doing great things, and really they are when you look at, spring practice and everything. But there again, man, you see some players excited when you watch the practices. Then you see other players just going through the motions, like nobody's really home, that they don't really want to be there. And you can't have that. Even in spring ball, you just can't have it.
I don't know, like, I'm not gonna say the players checked out. I'm not gonna say that, but this whole thing, it's not clicking. It's not clicking. You got a little too much of this and all that right there, but it's not fitting the way it should. It just doesn't feel like a fit.
It just don't feel like there's any team unity.
No, I'm not gonna say there ain't team unity. I think the players, it's just something between the higher ups and the players. It's not clicking. There's something not getting through. It's just not. It's not right. It's not right. It was very similar when Willie Taggart was there. Honestly, it never meshed.
It really reminds me a lot of the Will Muschamp days in South Carolina.
Oh yeah, the Muschamp days of Florida.
Yep.
It doesn't feel right. I want it so bad.
Yeah.
I want it so bad to be right, man. Damn, I want to see Florida State do good.
I would love to see the days of the classic rivalry of Florida State and Miami.
Florida State and Virginia Tech.
Florida State, Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, Virginia.
But these programs have got to get it together. And I mean, some of them do try to make a turnaround. But I mean, you look at Miami right now. Look at what they got going on down there spring. Listen to the feedback from the players. Watch their practices. Look at the body language, the whole 9 yards. And look at Florida State.
Yeah.
In year 1 with Cristobal, you see a significant difference.
Oh, dude, everybody is just focused, laser sharp.
Yeah, the season hadn't even started yet. This man's only been there for a few months.
Yeah.
And you see a very significant difference from this year to the next year.
There is.
You look at Virginia Tech with Brent Pry and Justin Fuente. You look at the team last year. The year before that, you look at their spring footage, even their regular season. Look at the body language, all that. Listen to the players talk, coaches talk. And then look at them now this spring with Brent Pry. Look at the electricity. Look at the chemistry. Everybody's got that spark in their eye. I mean, everybody's got all that energy, and they're just fired up. You can see it. You can see the heart. You can see the culture changing before your eyes, saying, damn, this team's hungry. This looks like a team that's ready to play football. These guys are serious. They're bought in. They're ready to go. And when I look at Florida State, it's like I see guys that want to win, but they're like, they're not sure how to go about getting there. Like it's just out of the reach of their hand and it's right there, they can't reach it. And they're just standing there. They're not, at this point, they're not even jumping for it anymore. They're saying, well, maybe it'll come down here to me, maybe, instead of me go elevating myself to get there.
I just feel like there's a lack of leadership at Florida State.
Something just ain't, I don't know what the hell it is. I can't put my finger on it. I really don't. The publicity stunt stuff, I don't get that whatsoever. It gives me a headache. Makes me feel like a jackass again.
Yeah,
I don't know what to expect with it. I'm not gonna write them off. I refuse to write them off. But just in a couple weeks' time from when I was looking at them a couple weeks ago, and then seeing this crap this week here, they say history repeats itself.
Yeah.
And the definition of insanity, as we've said many times before on the show, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yep.
And I've seen a little too much of the same crap going on year 3 now.
I mean, even if you look at the practices, where do you see Norville half the time? Talking with reporters. Goofing off with other people. He's not really, from what I've seen, I could be wrong, but from what I've seen, he's not really paying that close attention to the team. He's more focused about the social club.
I can't say that Dabo Sweeney is very much the same way that Clemson practice, but damn, Clemson keeps kicking ass.
But the thing about Clemson, man, is they had, keyword had, all the right assistants in place to where Dabo didn't have to coach.
He's had to coach. I mean, he's been there long enough now. He's had to coach. Can't make no mistake about that. But Dabo has a good culture and he has a good formula. He's figured out what works for him. He's going with it.
Mm-hmm.
Where Florida State, you got a team that's not making bowl games, not playing very good football, but then you got a coaching staff and staff that's acting like they just went 12-0 or acting like they just won 10 games. And you can't just sit there and say, oh, we're the Florida State Seminoles.
Right.
Years ago, you could do that. And everybody would instantly buy in. Everyone's like, yeah, that is Florida State. Hell, we know who you are.
Yep.
We ain't worried about what we see. But let's face it, the last 6-7 years now, Florida State is not.
They've not been Florida State.
They have not been relevant. And
the same
we're going
goes-
to say at least 5 years.
And really the same goes for Miami. The same would go for
Virginia Tech.
I mean, there's so many teams that have such a rich culture that are just striving to get back to the glory days. And you've got to have somebody there with the desire, the want to get you back to those glory days. Cristobal, prime example, man. Alone. Coached there before as well.
Was there for a natty.
Won a natty playing line. And look where they're at now, man. All the excitement that's going on, the electricity that's in the air. Pull up it on YouTube, man. You could see all of the big...
Yeah, go to their Twitter, go to their Instagram, go to their Facebook, go on YouTube, go wherever you want. Hell, if you're in Florida, drive down South Beach. You'll see it.
Yeah.
Hell, they've been welcoming people out there to practices.
Yeah,
That's how confident in what they're doing is. I mean, you can see it. Hell, they look damn good.
They really do, man.
Look at Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that kind of intensity there since Frank Beamer was there.
No.
And Bud Foster. That
Absolutely.
coaching staff. I mean, it's a big difference. And I mean, Florida State, they got a new weight room. You're like, okay, well, they're doing things to help the culture, doing things to get attention in there. And they've been bringing in some pretty good recruits. But they also have had some guys been hitting the transfer portal, rolling on out there. And it's just, there's too much shakiness, man.
Absolutely, man. And that brings me up to the next topic I wanted to discuss. Just like last week, we did a ACC coaches poll. And this time around, we asked, who you thought would be on the hot seat after this season. Mike Norvell, Florida State, came in with the most votes. Jeff Collins at Georgia Tech was a close second. Scott Satterfield came in third. And then Dino Babers from Syracuse came in last place. Dino Babers has really been turning around up there at Syracuse. He had a good season last year, so I could see why that he would come in last place in that poll.
Syracuse?
Yeah.
He didn't have a very good year last year.
He beat teams that he wasn't supposed to by big numbers.
He beat a few teams he wasn't supposed to, but he also lost some he wasn't supposed to lose either.
Well, I mean,
He had a decent year. Well, we ain't gonna say he had a good year. We ain't gonna say he had a good year.
he had a good year for Syracuse.
He had an okay year. It was alright. Wasn't nothing great. He got from point A to point B.
Yeah, I mean, he got it done.
But he made changes. Also, he seen errors, and he made changes. You look at the spring game the other day. Syracuse last year couldn't throw the football, but it was terrible. It was awful. I mean, it was shameful.
I could fling boogers farther than they could throw the football last year.
I think I could fly a kite more accurately. It was one of the worst passing attacks in all of college football last year. It was probably one of the worst passing attacks in all of college football in the last 5 damn years put together. It was sinful.
Yeah.
Brought in an offensive coordinator, went out and got a made man, so to speak. Got the OC from Virginia, Cavaliers. Brought him over. You watch that spring game.
Oh,
It don't even look like the same team.
they really don't, man.
I mean, they're out there throwing the ball all over the place. Got some design quarterback runs. Did not have as many design halfback plays as I would like to see. But that Syracuse offense looked just like Virginia's offense last year.
Yeah.
Very productive, very much big plays, a lot of explosion.
And that backup quarterback, man, he had an arm, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He looked good. I mean, this is always your second string quarterback.
Yeah. First string was hurt. He wasn't able to compete, but
Yeah, pulled a hammy.
yep.
But this coach went out and addressed his problems where he saw issues, went out and made a big fix, moved forward with it. Florida State, has there been any changes made down there?
Nothing that I'm aware of.
No. It's still rough.
And speaking of changes, man, Louisville made some big changes this offseason too.
But Louisville made a lot of changes. Yeah, we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 coaching changes, to be exact.
I know they got a new offensive coordinator from Notre Dame. What was his name?
Big name, Lance Taylor.
Lance Taylor.
The same man who helped create Christian McCaffrey, Kelvin Benjamin, Robbie Anderson. I mean, when they brought up the list of former players he had coached, it was like 17, 18 different guys that are big name NFL stars.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all products of his system.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's always been known for very great rushing attacks, so to speak, but more so balance. And he said he was going to come to Louisville, balance this offense out.
Yeah.
Wasn't gonna, the days of Malik Cunningham getting more yards in the season than tailback, we're going to try to cut that nonsense out. We're going to try to make him more of an NFL-style quarterback.
Yep.
Where he can move around and he can throw, and he can run if he has to get away, but it's going to be a throw-first mentality around there. No more of this fancy, crazy-ass Lamar Jackson stuff going on.
And it really shows too, man, because that running attack that they had in the spring game, that was just freaking awesome, man.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's what he's been known for, as a great rushing attack. And see, that's what Louisville was really missing last year, was a good ground game. Instead, you're having to rely on Malik Cunningham for everything.
Right.
If they can figure out that rushing game, get him some time back in the pocket, get him where he can get some receivers open, and hell, if anything, get the coverage downfield to where if he does scramble, everybody's not stacked on top of him.
Yeah.
It gives him a little bit of room for a bigger play. that could be very much a team to keep an eye on this year.
It really could. And the biggest thing that Louisville had going bad for them last year was that defense. And they addressed that in the offseason too and brought in a new co-defensive coordinator, Wesley, aka Coach Crime McGriff.
Yes, sir. Coach what?
Coach Crime.
Coach Crime?
Crime. You remember the crime dog Fred McGriff?
Oh, yeah. Man, that went over my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, they brought in another co-defensive coordinator to help fix this defense up. That's going to be good news. Brought in O-line coach Nick Cardwell. Going to fix this O-line up. I mean, and this is a team that won a bowl game last year. And they said, okay, we're still not where we want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives me respect to Scott Satterfield.
Yeah.
Because I ain't gonna lie, and I've been open about it, I've had a little bit of doubt about Satterfield. I was wondering if he was really bought into this program, had a lot of questions for him. But when you address issues like this after a 6-win season, that shows me, and it's going to show your players, this guy's bought in.
Yeah, absolutely, man. His name is on the line. He's going to do whatever he can to make this Louisville team gold again.
Exactly. I mean, hell, you look at the director of player development they brought in, Deion Branch, the wide receiver from the New England Patriots, won a few Super Bowls with him down there.
Yeah.
Former Louisville alumni, standout player. That's the head of your player development.
Yeah. And, speaking of tight ends, man, tight ends coach, what was his name? Josh Stepp.
Yep.
Brother of the Stepp out of South Carolina, Justin Stepp.
Are they brothers?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Identical brothers, identical twins.
Oh boy.
Whenever his picture flashed that his brother took the job at Louisville, everybody was calling Justin, congratulating him on the new job at Louisville, when it was actually his twin brother.
Oh crap. Yeah, Justin, you need to stay your ass where you at, man. Don't. Hold tight, brother. Hold tight.
But speaking of tight ends, Old Stepp is doing his thing down there at Louisville. He just actually got a commitment from a 4-star tight end, Javante Veren, Veren.
Well, the damn Stepp brothers, they must be some hellacious recruiters. Because you look at Justin Stepp, receiver coach of South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the big name receivers he's brought in. And a big influence bringing them in there. I mean, he's turned that recruiting around big time.
Oh, huge.
And now, twin brother right there in Louisville doing the same thing with tight ends, bringing in a 4-star. I mean, and when you're a smaller college, I mean, Louisville ain't small, but same time, about like South Carolina, their division.
Yeah.
You start bringing in 4-star players, that's big.
Yeah, huge.
That's big. And I mean, you start bringing these 4-stars, and you can start working on some 5-stars.
Absolutely, man.
Start building a program. But it's real interesting, man. I mean, you look at Louisville, they had their spring game also, same day as Syracuse. They had a lot of bright spots in that one. Like you said, they had a great ground attack.
Mm-hmm.
Malik Cunningham, he looked like he was struggling a little bit with the pocket passing, still like he had a little bit of happy feet and looked almost like he was frustrated going through the progressions. And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out because the last 2 seasons now, he's been doing it his way.
Yeah. The thing about Malik Cunningham that I've noticed in the spring game, they wanted him to stay in the pocket, read all of his reads, and if they can, get it off, to the safe valve, the safety valve down. He was able to do that quite a bit and was able to gain some good yardage. But when it actually came to the end zone, it seemed like he got in his own head a little bit where he's used to being able to take off and get it, running in for the touchdown himself. He was just overthinking it, and he had quite a few overthrows back there in the end zone.
Yeah, it got a little frustrating. I mean, it's kind of like the old saying, trying to teach an old dog new tricks. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time. He's got a new system he's learning. And see, if he's wanting to go to the NFL, the best thing he can really do in this situation is keep an open mind and try to take all this in because it's like Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. He went to the Ravens. He had a breakout year to start with, was the league MVP the following year. And then the last 2 years since then, he's actually had to basically reinvent himself because teams picked up on it and he started to struggle. And he's later than Malik Cunningham, later in his career, was having to basically learn the same thing Cunningham's doing now, learn how to be a pass first Go from option number 1 to number 2 to number 3. Then look for your check down. Throw the ball away.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if he can soak this up now and get this down packed by the season starts, I mean, there's no telling what kind of potential this young man can have, especially at Louisville, where they really looked very explosive and impressive a lot of times last year.
Yeah. And I mean, in that spring game, man, the O-line looked to be majorly improved from what they were last season, man. They really didn't allow much pressure on Cunningham that I was able to see. And not to mention opening up holes for the running backs, man. And, you know, it was very refreshing to see.
No, it really was, man. And last year, Louisville really only had 2 games. Well, we'll say 3, where they really lost decisively.
Right.
2 blowouts, and then 1 10-point game, or 14-point game, 1
Yeah.
2-possession loss.
Yeah.
The rest of them was all 1 possession or less, or a touchdown or less,
Yeah.
losses. So they could have very well been a 3-loss team last year. And you're going out and you're making that many staff changes. You're making this big of a jump to get that much better because you were that unhappy with what you had last year.
Yeah.
I mean, my bad, Bo, but
you good. Go ahead.
they could have very easily been 9-3. That's damn impressive.
Yeah. And I mean, look at the blowouts that they had, man. Ole Miss, 43-24. UK beat them 52-21. And then North Carolina State beat them 28-13. Everything else was close.
Oh, yeah, it was damn close. That's what I'm saying. I mean, Clemson took them down to the wire.
Mm-hmm.
Wake Forest, down to the wire. Virginia, down to the wire. I mean, dead nuts games. Close football games, man.
Good football games. I mean, even in the blowouts that they had, first quarter or two was real close games until they got a beat on Cunningham and what he was doing. And then it was kind of over with at that point. But, I mean, it was just really, really good football.
That's exactly right. So, it's going to be very interesting to see what Louisville does this year. Because, I mean, like we said, once again, the ACC is very much wide open this year. It's very at large. I mean, North Carolina, you got Sam Howell leaving. Pittsburgh, you got Kenny Pickett leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Wake Forest, you do have Sam Hartman coming back.
But Christian Bill Smith's at another team.
That's exactly right. Bill Smith's gone. But Wake Forest, you can look for them to still be tough again. They got a great coaching staff down there. North Carolina, I'm kind of on the board with them. Virginia, you still got some good guys coming back from there. Brennan Armstrong, those guys, they're going to be tough.
You talking about a beast, Brennan Armstrong.
Yes, sir. That's a hell of a quarterback. I mean, Miami, that's going to be a tough one this year.
Yeah.
Florida State, who the hell knows what's going on there. Duke's got a new coach. So Duke. Yeah, the Blue Devils.
The Blue Devils?
Yeah, Duke Nukem.
The Blue Devils, Duke Nukems. Okay, you're talking about the basketball school.
I don't even know if they had basketball. Poor guy.
Poor Coach K.
Man going out on his last year and gets his ass kicked by the same team twice, and it's a rival.
Take it easy, Coach K. Rest easy, buddy.
Rest easy. He ain't dead.
No, but he's retired. He's dead in the college game.
Damn. Easy.
Speaking of college basketball, man, I just got to give a shout out to the Lady Gamecocks out down here in South Carolina. Congratulations, girls.
Yeah, Dawn Staley and her girls, they did the damn thing again. Put on an impressive run.
And of course, we also got to give a shout out to the men's basketball team, the Kansas Jayhawks. They won the Natty in the men's division.
Yeah, they did. I mean, shout out to all of them. That's a hell of a sport, but
we talking football.
Yeah, back to the football. Just kidding. Seriously, congratulations to all of them. Wish them nothing but the best.
Absolutely.
Extremely happy for them.
Absolutely.
That's a huge accomplishment.
Absolutely. But speaking of the running game with Louisville, Jalen Mitchell coming back from last season, man, he was the best looking running back out there. He had 3 touchdowns, 2 of which were receptions to to the escape valve down there that he was able to take in for Tubbs.
3?
3 touchdowns altogether, 2 receptions.
That's the lead running back coming back.
That was leading. You got to think he was switching in and out with 3 or 4 different running backs.
Well, your quarterback also ran the ball more than anybody else.
Well, no, I'm not talking about for last season. I was talking about for the spring game.
Oh, my bad. You had me all messed up. Yeah, if you have 3 touchdowns spring game, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I didn't write down the name of spring game. I ain't gonna lie to you all. I watched it. I was gonna write down some notes, but then you have a drink, then another drink, then another drink, then a martini. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But no, man, I just got watching the game, and hell, I got more into it. I really didn't write nothing down. Just was really surprised. I was really caught off guard with the way the whole offense looked. Then I watched Syracuse's spring game, and I was blown away with that.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that.
Absolutely.
That's gonna be another team. Like I said, the ACC is wide open.
Absolutely. And that's what I love about the ACC as compared to the SEC, man. In the SEC, you have 2, 3, maybe even 4 teams that usually are always on top. Whereas the ACC is just wide freaking open.
Yeah, I mean, Clemson had their little reign of dominance for a little while there, but hell, even then, about once a year, one random ACC team would just show up and smack them around and take a win from them. But even right now, I mean, Clemson, these other schools have just stepped up to where they're at the same level with Clemson. Clemson's not quite as good as they were, but I mean, just think about it. North Carolina, NC State, Virginia, Syracuse, Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Did you say Wake Forest?
Wake Forest.
NC State?
Yes, sir. Boston College.
What?
Duke.
What?
All right. Stone Cold comes back for one time in 20 damn years, and you over here still awesome 316 in it. God damn.
Yeah. But no, for real, man. I mean, that's what I love about ACC football. Once I started covering it, man, I seen just how much everything just seemed to be. I don't want to say perfect, man, but everything just seemed to be on an even playing field.
It's an any given Saturday league. Like in the ACC, I swear, on any Saturday, any damn team in the ACC can turn around and beat another team from the ACC that they were never supposed to beat. I mean, it's just it's so even. I mean, hell, there's games where Duke shows up out of the blue. I mean, Duke could be on a 5-game losing streak, and then they'll show up and they'll just take Clemson down to the wire. I mean, it's like, where the hell did that come from? I mean, it's crazy. Don't get me wrong, I love the SEC. I love covering them. I'm a diehard Gamecock fan to the end. But
there's just something more pure about the ACC.
Yeah, when you start covering these teams, man, you really get open minded. Like I said, I became a little bit of a Virginia Tech fan probably about 6, 7 years ago somewhere. It was right in the last couple years of Frank Beamer. So probably about 8, 9 years ago. I started following Virginia Tech, and I always liked Miami a little bit, and Florida State paid a little bit of attention to them, but I really started following Virginia Tech several years ago. And the more ACC games I watched, the more I was just like, damn. You really don't know on any game who is going to win.
You really don't, man.
And it's just awesome football. Every game is just awesome football. It really is.
Even when the ACC plays an SEC school, it's always usually down to the wire with the SEC schools.
Yeah. And I'll be the first to admit, I used to rag the ACC.
Yeah.
I used to be one of the SEC guys who always said, oh man, you can take one of our bottom feeders, put them in the ACC, and they clean house. Yeah, I was one of those people. Don't hate. Because I'm telling you, I have much more of an open mind nowadays, brother. I promise you. Because it's like you said, you can take a Wake Forest from the ACC and play them against a Bama or a Georgia. And they might get asked cut a time or two. But there's going to be a lot of times where it's going to come, I mean, right down to the damn wire.
Yeah.
Look at Clemson. Bama had a dynasty, and Clemson was just pissing Bama off year in, year out on a regular basis.
Yeah.
That was pissing me off too. They've been pissing me off for about, 8 years now.
Let's be honest, they've been pissing you off for about 29 years now.
Yeah, but 8 years in a row, man. This year's 8 years in a row. It kind of sucks. It's getting very, very old. It was getting old after the first one, but damn.
Speaking of which, did you see where ESPN had put out their upset alerts already? They have Carolina upsetting Clemson this year.
Really?
Yes, sir.
It's too damn early for that.
Way too early.
I mean, I like it. I'm down with it. I hope them bastards is right. But jumping the gun a little bit there, buddy.
Just a little.
Because you never know what the hell old Dabo's doing up yonder.
Yeah, doing Dabo-ish things.
It's like a damn mad scientist with Frankenstein up there.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Which Brent Venables is gone, so I guess he's missing Igor.
Venables is gone, so there goes Igor. His offensive coordinator's gone. I don't know who he would be.
I don't know. Igor number 2, maybe. I don't know, man. But
Igor's Igor.
he's got a lot of staff fixing to do this year, but I think he can do it. He's got a hell of a mind. I'll give him that. I still crack over that damn thing you see on Facebook. He might be the dumbest son of a bitch I've ever seen, but he sure runs fast.
That was great.
Oh man, that was hysterical.
Run, Dabo, run!
I'm gonna have so many Clemson fans coming after me now because of that comment. Don't hate, guys. Don't hate. We're all from the same state. Come on now.
Oh.
But come November, I'm just saying.
Yep. We ain't friends for a day.
No, we ain't friends for a damn week. And if they win, it's gonna be a couple weeks after that before we're friends again.
A little salty.
Yeah, shit. I'm telling you, man. But what else you got left, man?
Want to talk a little bit about them Kentucky Wildcats.
Let's talk about it.
So, of course, their spring game is Saturday, April 9th. Got a little bit of news and notes from Kentucky. We'll start out with the bad stuff first. Ray Lewis's baby boy, Rayshawn Lewis, wide receiver. He was arrested a couple weekends ago for DUI. And, it was a pretty bad thing.
Hate it for him, but I mean, you get through it.
Yeah, just young and dumb.
That's right. That's nothing but a young and dumb kind of thing. And in today's world, a lot worse things have happened.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
But then again, it don't take but a few dumb mistakes and you can lose your whole college career over it. There's a man who used to play for Carolina named Stephen Garcia. You can ask him.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Just a couple of quick notes about some wide receivers out of spring practices and whatnot. They're trying to find a replacement for Wan'Dale Robinson. He was their go-to target last season, and they've actually got a couple of different guys that they're looking at, some that are actually showing some promise. Deckel Crowder, Chauncey Magwood, and 2 freshmen, Dane Key, and a freshman Dane Key and a sophomore Chris Lewis. And they've all been showing promises. You know, the wide receivers coach has been doing nothing but bragging on them. So it's going to come down to the wire on who's going to be able to really show up.
That'd be interesting to see. I couldn't believe how different their offense looked last year. I mean, 2 years ago, it was like playing Wildcat at quarterback every snap.
Yeah.
They had a horrible offense 2 years ago.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what happens when you
Bring in a quarterback.
Yeah, bring in a true quarterback.
Yeah, you bring in Will Levis. A lot of people have questioned about Penn State saying, oh, he he's not that good. That's why Penn State really didn't want him, and yada yada. Just whole lot of trash talking going on. He went to Kentucky and
Blew it up.
I mean, he showed up and showed out on
Yeah.
a big time level.
Yeah, and it ain't going to surprise me if he's not a first pick next year. It will not surprise
You
me.
mean a first round?
The number 1 pick overall.
Well, those
Yes, sir.
I don't see that.
I mean, it may not happen, but I'm just saying it will not surprise me. The arm on this kid's got legs when he has to have them. I mean, he's just a well-rounded quarterback, in my opinion.
Very much so. He makes a little bit of careless mistakes still, but I mean that can be corrected.
So did Brett Favre.
Come on now. Come on now. Call the brakes, man. Hold up. You call Will Levis Brett Favre.
I'm not calling Will Levis Brett Favre, but I'm also saying that Brett Favre was a gambler just like Will Levis.
Yeah, but Brett Favre knew what the other person had in their hand to start with. Brett Favre was a hell of a good. Are we talking young Brett Favre or old Brett Favre? You gotta specify which one now.
We're going to talk middle age to late Brett Favre.
But that's not fair. Because Brett Favre took, well, I don't know. He had that 1 year with Minnesota Vikings. He was pretty damn good. And that kind
Yeah.
of sucked.
Well, I mean, he had to pay back somebody.
Shut up. Shut up. We ain't discussing it. Old Brett Favre did us there. Well, the Packers did Brett Favre dirty. That's what happened to it. I'm not a part of that fan base no more. Like
That's all I got to say about that.
kiss my ass.
One other piece of news out of Kentucky camp. Defensive back Vito Tisdale torn his ACL and MCL and will be out for the entire 2022 season.
Damn it, man. I hate to hear that. And spring ball, your year's already over.
Yeah.
I hate that for him. How many years of eligibility he has left?
That I'm not sure about.
I hope it's his last year. I hope.
I think if it would be, he would be able to medical red shirt for this year.
Unless he's already had a medical red shirt before.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. Hopefully it's not his last year. I mean, either way, it's horrible, but.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Mark Stoops up there, ain't it?
Yep, Omar.
Yeah, Mark Stoops. They just keep getting better and better.
They really do. Speaking of coaches that can turn a team around quick, fast, and in a hurry, man. It only took Stoops, 3-4 years to turn that team around completely?
Man, really, about 2 years.
Yeah.
He was flipping it, had them looking real good compared to what they have been. I mean, they had a couple years there with Andre Woodson. They looked pretty good. But I think they had 1 year with Randall Cobb. They looked pretty good.
Yeah.
But for the most part, Kentucky has always been kind of like a Wake Forest of the ACC.
Pretty much.
And damn if they both. Damn, now I think about it, they both really kind of turned around right about the same time, too.
Yeah. That's what I love about college football, man. I mean, you get the right people in. I mean, any team can win on any given Saturday.
For the most part.
For the most part. But you got to have the right nucleus around you in order to be able to do so.
The nucleus is the center. The membrane.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the right membrane.
Yeah.
Atmosphere. We're just going to say you got the right atmosphere.
There you go.
There you go. But yeah, Stoops has done a great job. The SEC East, man, don't get me wrong, that's going to be some exciting football in that division this year because I very much believe the SEC East this year could be very much wide open.
I do too. I think Georgia has lost quite a few big name people. I mean,
They lost just a little too much talent.
I mean, the thing about Georgia though, man, is they've recruited well, so it may not be a rebuilding team. It could just be a reloading year.
Yeah, but one thing you cannot replace is experience.
That's true.
And all those guys have a bunch of it.
Yes, sir.
Georgia, I think they'll still be a strong team this year, don't get me wrong. I think they'll still be contending for natties in another year or two. But this year here, I look for them to get set back a game or two at least. Probably be a two, maybe three, but I say definitely 2-loss team this year.
I say maybe a 2-loss team, possibly a 3-loss, just depending.
I say definitely 2, maybe 3. Now you look at the SEC East this year, man. I mean, you got Josh Heupel, them guys at Tennessee, Hendon Hooker, all them coming back.
Yep.
That's going to be a tough ass team.
Yep. That's gonna be one of those on the edge sort of games.
Yeah,
It could go either way.
that's going to be a very tough team this year.
Kentucky will go either way.
Yeah, Kentucky very much could go either way. You got South Carolina coming back with just so many different pieces in there. And South Carolina, Georgia, I mean, you don't ever know what the hell you're going to get with that game. You really don't.
Absolutely, man. I mean, the years that you know for sure, without a doubt, South Carolina's going to get blown away. They'll surprise you.
Yeah, you don't ever know with them. I mean, the East is really fascinating. Plus, you got Billy Napier down there in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what the hell he's going to bring. And I feel like he's going to make a pretty decent turnaround in Florida.
I think he'll eventually get a good turnaround in Florida. I don't know how quick it's going to be, though.
I don't know how quick it'll be, but I'm saying it would not surprise me at all year one to see him pull an upset on like a Georgia or somebody like that. Pull off a big upset game.
Yeah.
Might be Georgia, might be Tennessee, might be Kentucky. Hell, could be South Carolina. But Napier's
knock on wood.
Napier's going to get an upset on somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, the SEC East is wide open. SEC West, I don't know.
I mean, there's 3 teams. I'll give you 3 teams.
You got Bama, A&M, and then you kind of want to say LSU with Kelly, but I'd say Arkansas.
That's who I was going with, Arkansas. Possibly even Ole Miss.
Arkansas, Ole Miss not this year.
They lost Matt Corral, yeah.
Yeah, they lost a little too much. They did bring in that quarterback from USC though, so that could be interesting. But Arkansas, I don't think they're on a natty contender level yet. Now Arkansas, I do think they could upset Bama, they could upset A&M, they could upset anybody.
Yeah, any given day.
Yeah, that's a tough team to play.
But the question is, can they do it on a consistent basis?
Yeah, that's my thing. I don't know if they can contend for that SEC West championship yet. They might could make it to the SEC West to contend for the title.
Yeah.
I don't think they win the title. I think they could contend for it.
Yeah.
But they're definitely not on a SEC championship winning level yet. I don't think. Playoff team level.
Yeah, I can see that.
A&M, they have to. In the next 2 years, they have to.
Yeah. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're gonna have to, or something's gotta give.
Yeah, you got this year and next year, and if something doesn't happen, there's gonna be a lot of changes being made.
If you don't make it to at least the playoffs next year, mark my words, you'll see changes.
That's exactly right. You'll see a bunch of changes.
Yeah.
But all that being said, man, you got anything else you really want to touch on?
I believe I've about covered all I was wanting to talk about today. What about you?
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm pretty good. Just like always, man, if y'all don't mind, how about hit us up on Facebook, share this podcast episode. You can find it on Spotify, you can find it on Stitcher, you can see the episode on YouTube, share it with your friends, share it on your page, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like always, feel free to reach out to us. Shoot us a message, hell, whatever. If you want to call into an episode one day, that's fine. I'm cool with that.
Absolutely, man. Just hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you got to, man. We more than want to talk football with you.
That's exactly right. And to all the people that have been participating in our polls, I want to say thank y'all very much.
Well, a big thank you to you guys, man. Y'all mean the world to us.
Absolutely. And I know Big Rob's going to keep having those polls pumping on out there. And
yes, sir.
Keep interacting with fans. I really appreciate the interaction. And everybody that tunes in, thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. Y'all mean the world to us. You'll never know how much you mean to us. And again, just hit us up. We love you. We'll see y'all next time.
That's right. Peace out.